Hey, what's up, YouTube? Red and Bordy here. We're back with another New World Lore episode. Of course, part 2 of the Vitae Aeternum Pact. Bordy, let's hop right in here. Take it away with the next page.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So this one is from the Journal of Commander Edwin of the Marauders, found in First Light. Should just crush them all right now. Pact be damned. What use is the pact if no one does anything? If I were leading the Marauders, I'd make certain that things happened. Force those syndicate cowards to give over what they've researched and wipe the sanctimonious smirk off the faces of the Covenant with my blade, if I had to. Commander Joshi is a great woman, but the others bind her hands. If the weak were meant to rule, then it wouldn't be so easy to get rid of them, would it? I'll talk with her about it more next time I see her. So it sounds like you have kind of a disgruntled Marauder right here. He's not very happy with the leadership, I guess.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to make things happen. Which is kind of, I would think, a typical Marauder fashion, right? You got a lot of meatheads in the Marauders. Let's be real here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, dude, for sure. Here's the thing. We knew this was going to decay, you know? We knew this was going to fall apart. And it didn't take long, you know, because they're already fighting. So let's look into the next one. It's called Biting Time, excuse me. Commander Joshi has again proposed that we carry the fight to the north. And while the day will come that we must do this, the time is not yet right. I and the rest of my brethren are certain that we will uncover something that will give us an edge over the corruption. The ancients must have had some way to fight against it. Perhaps they were too few at the end and there was not enough time. That half-wit Amano tried to say that the ancients fell because they lacked faith, that the covenant is stronger than the ancients were because of it. I could have throttled her right then. We must not be hasty, and I must control my temper. Yo. All right, so here we go again. You know, syndicate again. At first it was like the Marauder against the syndicate. Now it's the syndicate against the covenant. Dude, you know, here's the thing. There's such a difference between their ideologies that they, you know, obviously bound to cause trouble here. And you know, where they should be focusing on the war with the corrupted, Bordy, they are definitely not doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Commander Joshua is wanting them to go north so they can carry the fight to the north. And then you see Alchemist Long doesn't want that. He's not ready to go to north yet. They don't feel like they have enough information yet. So it's kind of crazy how the tensions begin to grow here, man. So let's check out the next page here. So the next one is called The Unyielding Blade. It's an unsent letter from Adjudicator Dempster of the Covenant, First Light. So while this pact has made these sanctuary settlements much quieter, I fear it has only prolonged the existing conflict. Each leader knows that the corruption is the true enemy, the rot at the center of all chaos across the island. Yet none is willing to step back and accept another viewpoint. I refuse to be caught up in the rank of venality of the Marauders, and even if Alchemist Long and I sometimes agree on the blessed nature of Azoth, her inability to find faith in our cause makes her a difficult ally. While I am certain our beliefs will act as both a sword and a shield against the darkness ahead, I am at least willing to grant that some members of the factions make points to consider. That does not make me doubt our cause. No, I believe it makes me stronger in it. So there's kind of the viewpoint of the Covenant, man. What do you think about that one, Red?
Dude, here's the thing, man. I find it interesting first that you know, the thought is that the ancients kind of fell to the corruption because you know, and that's pretty interesting to me. That's kind of what the first that's kind of been said about this in our lore videos. I also think it's a little bit arrogant of the Covenant to think that they're, you know, have the solution to the ancients' follies. So I don't know, man. Dude, here's the thing. They have like intentionally spread apart these people in Aeternum. Who knows like what point this has started? You know, what like, you know, how many years, or if there are even years on Aeternum, has this been going on where they just keep splitting the new people that get to the island into these factions? But clearly not the best idea, Bordy, because there's a lot of conflict.
Well, I think even if you wouldn't do that, if you didn't split them into factions, there's always going to be conflict because there's going to be people who don't agree with your cause. So at least they're pushing them into directions that they all agree on. So now you just have the leaders that are disagreeing. Yeah. So you have the Covenant leader here who is obviously Covenant is very, very strong in their faith, and they're very faith-based. And it sounds like to Azoth, because they say Even if Alchemist Long and I sometimes agree on the blessed nature of Azoth, her inability to find faith in our cause makes her a difficult ally. So we all know the Covenant is based on this religious zeal type of thing. So it's kind of interesting, man, how they're all disagreeing and they have their own beliefs in what to do to fight the corruption, because that's kind of the end goal here. They're trying to fight the corruption and figure out how to get there to do it, and they just can't agree on the right course of action here.
True. Which what is that saying? Indecision is no decision, or something like that. There's some weird saying about not making a decision is worse than actually making the wrong decision. So we will see. Here's the next lore page. It's called Discordant Trinity. I am aware that not all share my viewpoint, hence the purpose behind the pact. But part of that was agreeing to join together to fight against the corruption. Each time I propose that we take the fight to the north, to the heart of the enemy, I am blocked by imbeciles. The syndicate keeps saying that now is the right time, that we must wait and find more knowledge, or now isn't the right time. We must wait and find more knowledge of the ancients. But doesn't stop us from losing fine people each day to this corruption. And the Covenant are no better, thinking that their belief will keep them safe. The only thing needed to keep us safe is a blade, a strong arm, and the will to use it. Now, here's the thing, Bordy, about the Marauder standpoint. We have all these, this documentation or these documents of people dying consistently. And I believe the Marauders are part of those people that keep dying consistently. So it'd be pretty ignorant at this point to think your blade's going to keep you safe now, considering like you know how many people have died over and over again.
Yeah, exactly why we are syndicate members, man. You know what I mean? This is exactly why we choose the syndicate, because the syndicate, they're using their mind, they're using their head to decipher when is the right time to go take on the corruption. And the Marauders are just hasty, dude. They're just hasty. They're getting impatient. They just want to go up there and they're gonna go up there and get slaughtered, dude. That's what's gonna happen. They need to just calm down, slow down, and listen to the syndicate leader, bro. That's what needs to happen here. It's
hard to argue with that, you know?
All right, so let's look at the next one. It's called Hidden Strength from the Journal of Alchemist Zens of the Syndicate, Windsward. So here we go. See, here's the good stuff here. This is the voice of reason, right? So progress is being made, but slowly. Others have spread far and wide, searching for any and every remnant of the ancients. Anything that can aid us in the coming battle is immediately sent to a settlement for safekeeping and research. Though we often have to fight off bands of Marauders or Covenant in the wilds. Yeah, look at that, dude. See, they see us as easy targets. They see us as weak, but they do not know the knowledge we possess, which gives us an edge. Often a threat is more useful than an action, so we have reached a stalemate. We may not be willing to throw ourselves at an enemy, but we are more than capable of defending ourselves. See, look at that, level-headed. Look, man. See, they have the knowledge, and everybody wants the knowledge, man. Everybody's after it.
Well, or they don't care about it, which is a trend sometimes. You know, so all right. So here's the final lore page in the Vitae Aeternum Pact series, and this is called Shield of Faith. You can imagine who wrote this one. Those heathens, they refuse to understand that our cause is just and right, and with that on our side, we cannot fail. If they would accept that we have been chosen by Aeternum to fight to restore the glory and divinity of Azoth, we could wipe the corruption away in a matter of weeks. But no, those marauder fools want to charge in and with nothing to protect them but their armor and blades. Without faith in our cause, they will fail like a bloody harvest before the might of the corrupted. But still, they do wish to fight, and conniving syndicate thinkers, on the other hand, want to only set back and wait and hide, hoping providence to fall into their laps. So, this is just screams open world PvP to me, Bordy. Because, if we're talking trash on this level back and forth, there's a war abound. And it makes sense that we're warring over these territories, these settlements. It makes sense that we're warring over these forts, Bordy. And dude, I love the lore behind the war, because I hope that they continue to, explore the three-way faction warfare in content to come. because, you know, I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of room here to kind of build up lore and take this to a new level. You know, like the famous conflicts that we've seen in MMOs in the past, like the Alliance and the Horde, and, you know, the Daggerfall Covenant and the, you know, Ebonheart Pact. I love that you know, that identity that players can kind of have with their faction or their selection of faction, and I love the conflict that comes with it.
Yeah, absolutely. This kind of goes back to our discussion of whether or not lore pages are great in terms of lore. And I love these things, but I do think that the typical player is not going to take the time to read these to get really attached to their faction.
True.
And this type of stuff does. Once you start to dissect these lore pages and you really get into them, especially for this Vitae Aeternum Pact here, you start to really understand the viewpoints of each of the factions. And so you start to draw more of a connection to them, like ours to the Syndicate, man. You know, like we like the Syndicate, and it's fun. It's just a fun banter to go back and forth with other people that may be more relatable to the Covenant, or just want to draw out their blade and go hasty and run in there and fight. And it's fun to kind of go back and forth with those people. And once you have kind of that connection, it does a lot for the game. And so I hope that in the game, they put some things in the game that are more cinematic, like we've said in the past, or something like that, that draws people in that aren't going to watch these or read these lore pages, because a lot of people won't. I hope they have something in the game that kind of helps you connect to your faction a little bit more, because it is fun whenever you're out there open world PvPing and you see someone, a marauder or a Covenant in our case, and it's a lot more fun to win that battle whenever you kind of have a connection to your faction. So I hope that they kind of drive that point home.
Yeah, for sure. And dude, they can just watch our lore videos, man. If they don't like to read the lore in the game, just come on over, hit the sub button, and the notification bell. We'll read them to you, no problem at all. They're also over there at New World Fans, and I think we're going to be getting a bunch more lore pages when the game actually launches, so we look forward to that too. All right, Bordy, it's been a fun one. I like these two-part series. You know, it tells a long story, and you know, I do think that the Vitae Aeternum Pact is something important for players to know. Hopefully they cover it in some quest lines in the game, because I mean, obviously it's one of the reasons there's, I think, some peace and some war on Aeternum when it comes to these three factions. So guys, thank you again for watching. We are extremely close to 1K now, and that's all due to your guys' continued support. Thanks for sharing our videos with your friends. You know, hitting the like button, you know, commenting down below. All of those things have helped us grow to this level, and we really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video.